General Hospital just gave us the most unhinged, jaw-dropping week of 2026, and my blood pressure has literally not recovered. We've got fake drownings in knee-deep water, mobsters casually walking out of police custody, and a teenager making horrifying discoveries while on the run. Welcome back to the channel, besties. Grab your strongest coffee, because I am wide awake at 2 a.m., absolutely buzzing, and we desperately need to unpack this entire mess right now. I cannot believe they did that. I am literally sitting here screaming at my screen because what in the actual Port Charles Police Department is going on right now? Let me get this straight. We spend months watching Jen Sidwell terrorize this town. He shoots Lucas Jones twice in the chest at the tennis court construction site. Thank God for that bulletproof vest, by the way. And Sonny's smug civic duty line was absolute perfection. And we finally get Sidwell in cuffs. Dante Falconeri and Joe Fitzpatrick do the damn thing. We are cheering. We are celebrating. And then the writers just rip the rug right out from under us. Dante hands the most dangerous man on the canvas over to Nathan. I mean Cassius, the secret twin who has been lying to everyone for over a year. And what happens? Cassius uncuffs him. Cassius drives him a few blocks away, takes the cuffs off, and urges Sidwell to flee the country. But Sidwell isn't going quietly, is he? Of course not. He orders Cassius to take a hit so the escape looks real. So Cassius bloodies himself up, calls Dante, and claims Sidwell's goons jumped him. And Dante just believes it? Spoilers for the week of June 15 say Dante actually defends the detective. Why? I know some people are loving this dynamic, but personally, I am losing my mind. Dante is a seasoned cop. Is Dante playing a long game? Is this a tactical move to keep Cassius close so he can track Sidwell? Because if Dante is actually falling for this story, I am going to march down to the station myself. But let's be real about Cassius for a second. I kind of feel for the guy, even though I want to shake him. He was raised by Caesar Faison. That alone is a lifetime of trauma and therapy waiting to happen. He's not a totally bad guy, but he is in the messiest, most complicated situation possible. He just had to look his own mother, Liesl Obrecht, in the eye inside that Windermere cell and tell her that Nathan is dead and cremated. She slapped him across the face. Kathleen Gatti delivered an absolute masterclass in that scene. So Cassius is emotionally wrecked, and now he's going to be questioned because Sidwell is missing. And speaking of Sidwell, the user notes say he lays a trap. He's hiding in plain sight. Sidwell, with nothing to lose, operating in the shadows of Port Charles with a contingency plan, is the scariest version of Sidwell we've ever seen. Who is he setting this trap for? Is it Sonny? Laura? Lucas? Or is he coming for Cassius for not being loyal enough? I am dreading who gets caught in this web, but I'm also so here for the high-stakes drama. Carlo Rota is eating this roll up, and I am riveted. Okay, back to the point that actually made me throw my remote across the room. Willow Tate Kane. Can we talk about this? This was the most unhinged, soap opera campy thing she has done all year, and I am obsessed but also furious. Tracy Quartermaine put hands on her. Well, Tracy grabbed her arm during a massive argument at the Quartermaine Lake. Willow was all big and bad, dragging Tracy's family and dropping the D word about Dylan. She was completely holding her own until she saw Harrison Chase approaching from a specific angle. And what does Willow do? She suddenly screams, "Oh, you are hurting me, Tracy!" And right on cue, she lets herself fall into the fountain. I mean, it's the Quartermaine Lake, but let's be honest. It's basically a 2-foot fountain. A puddle. And Chase, sweet, beautiful, completely blind Harrison Chase dives in to rescue her, as if she was going to drown in knee-deep water. And then he arrests Tracy. He puts Jane Elliott in handcuffs. I've been watching since 2015, and this is the absolute wildest disrespect to a Quartermaine matriarch I have ever seen. Willow is just sitting there, soaking wet, playing the victim perfectly. But we all know Michael Corinthos is pulling the strings here. He is setting up this massive cheating trap to blow up Brooklyn and Chase's marriage, and Chase is falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. So now Tracy is out for blood. Spoilers say Tracy is going to confront Brooklyn this week. BLQ has been so tight-lipped about her exact plan and the car accident secret. I wonder if she will finally confide in Tracy. Honestly, I hope so, because Tracy and Michael are supposedly sharing common ground this week. Let me repeat that. Tracy Quartermaine and Michael Corinthos share common ground. That is a terrifying alignment. If those two are seeing eye to eye, the rest of Port Charles needs to run for cover. Brooklyn needs to get ahead of this before Michael uses her secrets to push Chase right back into Willow's manipulative arms. I swear, if Willow gets away with this fake drowning stunt and steals Chase, I am going to riot. Let's pivot to my favorite tragic villain, Valentin Cassadine. General Hospital spoilers for the week of June 15 reveal that Valentine accepts his fate. I am literally shaking reading this. What does that mean? We know he had that incredibly emotional conversation with Charlotte. He told her to stay away from Danny, which of course, she completely ignored because she's a teenager and a Cassadine. She made a promise, but she's still out here helping Danny and plotting schemes. Valentine loves that girl more than life itself, and he's falling so hard for Carly. He's been fighting against contacting WSB operative Z because he doesn't want to go back to Steinmauer. But accepting his fate, I think he's going to sacrifice his own freedom to save Jocelyn from that Windermere cell. However, I think there is a positive twist coming for the fugitive. The writers aren't going to just lock him up again after building up this romance with Carly. Z has to have a loophole, or Valentine has a backup plan we don't see coming. Speaking of master manipulators, Jack Brennan is negotiating with Willow this week. Because of course he is. Willow isn't so far over her head, she can't even see the sky. Nina threw away the paralytic dose, so Brennan is awake, faking his locked-in syndrome, and he's got Willow completely cornered. He's dangling the Drew embezzlement intel in front of her. Willow needs that leverage to keep Drew quiet, but Brennan is a shark. If Willow makes a deal with him, she is selling her soul to the devil. Okay, I need to take a breath, because this next part has my stomach in knots. Rocco Falconeri, our sweet boy on the run with Britt Westbourne. The spoilers say Rocco makes a horrifying discovery later in the week. What is it? We know Ross Cullum gets new intel this week. Cullum is a monster. He just dumped a drugged Liesl Obrecht in a cell to replace Britt on the Cold Fusion project. If Cullum is closing in on them, that is terrifying. But wait, what if the horrifying discovery is about Britt herself? Could Britt be dying already? We know she's been dealing with her Huntingtons, and the extreme stress of being on the run, protecting a teenager, has to be taking a massive toll on her body. If Rocco wakes up and finds Britt unresponsive, or if he finds out the brutal truth about her condition, I am going to need an entire box of tissues. Britt has protected him so fiercely. She cannot go out like this. Please, writers, give us a miracle. Meanwhile, Lulu also gets information this week. Thank God. She has been carrying the crushing weight of Rocco's disappearance all by herself, terrified out of her mind. This must be about Rocco and Britt. And we know the man wearing Nathan's face, Cassius, has been bringing intel to Lulu. Cassius is finally choosing a side. He knows what Cullum is doing, and he's taking it to Lulu. This has to be the turning point where Lulu and Dante finally team up to save their son. And finally, Trina Robinson ponders her next move. Trina is honestly the only sane person in Port Charles right now. Her mom's baby shower just erupted into chaos, Curtis is facing felony charges, and Trina is just trying to focus on her art showcase while her entire family implodes. Protect Trina at all costs. She needs to stay far away from the Windermere drama, the Sidwell traps, and the Quartermain Lake stunts. I cannot wait to see how all these pieces collide this week. Let me know your theories in the comments, because I am officially obsessed.